All right, so we're here with the B2R guys. I'm Joe from Precision Racing.
I'm Aaron, if you don't know me already.
Navi from B2R.
I'm Romanos, owner of RHM.
Yeah, so we're just here having a casual chat, having a bit of laugh between friends because we've been friends for a long time, all within the industry. And, you know, although we race each other at Raw Racing and the drags and CUDA and whatnot, it's all a laugh. We're all friends. We're all trying to achieve the same goals. And that's basically what we're here for. So I guess we'll start out with, I've got a bit of a segment, and it's called Joe's Top 5. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't overthink it. It's very simple. It's not hard. It's just, might as well just start.
Sounds good.
No, I'm overthinking it. Yeah. All right, so Navi, what was your first car?
My first car was a 180SX,
Yeah.
blue 180SX.
How long ago was that?
Oh, man, that would have been like, what, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
When I finished high school, that's when I got the car.
Yeah.
So I worked at KFC.
Yeah.
Saved up every dollar. Bought that, and then, it was actually turbo when I got it.
Yeah.
Had to take the turbo off because of the restrictions.
Yeah.
And then, after that, it was, fucking cream interior and boots, subwoofers and all that stuff back in them days.
Yeah.
So, that's where it all started.
That was the thing, right? Obviously, I think we're the same era, and that's when the P-plater laws came in, and there's no turbos and whatever.
It was allowed for a while.
So I'm feeling really old.
I think
I'm thinking, did you say that there was turbo laws when you got your license?
As I got my license, that's when the laws came.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
I'm 30 now, 31.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Romanos, what was your first car?
Mine was a VL, a purple VL.
Yeah.
Mine was non-turbo, and I ended up doing, I'm 35, so those laws weren't enforced then. So I did the opposite thing. I put a turbo on it. Yeah. Back then.
What sort of power was that?
Okay, so like back then, the internet wasn't what it was today. So there, a lot of, if you want information on cars, you had to jump online, and it was all through forums. Yes, that's right. So there was.
So you had computers back then, or?
Oh, we did. Yeah, dial-up internet was cracker. But back then there was a forum like specifically for the VL platform. It was called caloturbo.com. I don't know.
Yes,
if
I do.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was gold. A bunch of information. I was 17, so the car was automatic, non-turbo NA, and I wanted to convert it to turbo. I didn't really know how to do it myself, so I met a bloke on there. His name was Darren. I saved up all my money, to convert this thing to a turbo. So I met this guy named Darren off the forums. He's supposed to do this. He reckons he can do this turbo conversion for me. Yeah, sweet as. All right, let's drop him off the car. He's at Macfields there. I go pick up the car after a week or so, pick it up, and I'm driving it home. I'm like, I see the temperature. It's slowly climbing. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck's going on here?
This is coolant temp, right?
Yeah, coolant temp. And I'm like, all right, then, hey man, I'll be fine. You just got to run it for a while. Go home, pop open the radiator cap, and it's like sludge. Oil and water. It's like, oh god, what's happening here? Tried calling him up. I'm harassing him a bit, and then next he's ghosting me. I'm like, all right, fuck.
There was no alarm bells prior to this. There's no alarm bells, right?
No, there were no alarm bells.
Because forums are great.
Yeah, exactly right, but, after all this, I've got no money now.
And no money,
I've got no money, so I'm going to have to fix it. I'm going to have to, diagnose this myself.
Yeah.
So then I've jumped on the forums again, and there's a bloke, he's documented the process step by step, really good. And okay, let's get in and have a crack. So it's the first time me, having a go at tinkering around with a car, probably pulling apart an engine. Pulling it apart. So back then, if you're NA, it's got higher compression. So back then they had decompression plates.
Yep.
So what he's done. So what you're supposed to do back then was have a head gasket on one side, head gasket on the other side. He just put one head gasket on the top, and then fucked me. It's like, you bastard, you got me beat. But you know what? In hindsight, it's probably a pretty good learning experience. But
how did he tune it? Or it was just it was math or something?
He just back then.
Wind the fuel pressure reg up.
Well, I didn't even do that back then. We just whack a turbo, a VL turbo ECU into it and hope for the best.
Unbelievable.
But
crazy.
And do you remember how much that was? The turbo conversion.
Oh, fuck, man, it would. I got off the bloke down the road. One of the neighbours, he had it for me. He had the 5-speed MX-7 gearbox along with the full turbo conversion. I think I paid like $1,500 for the whole lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was manual conversion as well?
Yes. I wanted it manual. Yeah, so I ended up doing the manual conversion as well. So yeah.
That's killer, eh?
Yeah, I did like that car. It was a cracker car. I had some fun in it.
And that leads us to, what was your first job?
I was a brickie.
No way. Yeah, tradie.
Yeah, tradie, you know. So
Start off as labourer or straight into brickie?
Nah,
Yeah.
I did hard yards
TAFE
as
and
labourer.
everything.
Yeah, TAFE and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Ended up doing it. Then, you know, you'll see all the older guys walking around and they're all hunching over. I'm like, you know what? I do not want a bad back when I'm older. I'm out of here. I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my first job.
Yeah, smart move probably, I think.
Yeah.
All the old wogs with the bad backs. You don't hear about it until, long
Yeah.
time.
No, good. And Nav, how did you start off?
I started off, so
Wasn't long ago.
no, it wasn't that long ago. But it's been like, 6 years now, 7 years. But yeah, well, when I was apprentice, so after KFC,
Yeah.
I went and done I got a job at Richter Million Honda.
Yep.
So I was through like one of those agencies where they, find your apprenticeship,
Yeah.
and parents are like, "No, you need to become a doctor. You need to do this." Indian
Yeah.
parents. So I ended up getting a job at Richter Million Honda in Leichhardt. So I done my first year there, and that all I was doing was just cleaning mop buckets and
Yeah.
emptying bins and
Servicing.
Which is important, right?
very important.
It's important now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like we weren't, wasn't learning pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Then a year went past, and I was thinking, I was like, fuck, man, I'm not doing nothing here. I've changed oil and oil filters, and it's just not happening. Anyways, that ended up getting shut down. They went to liquidation and stuff
Yeah.
like that, closed it all down. And then one of my good friends, he got me a job in Campbelltown, just a small little workshop. His name was Danny's Performance.
Yeah, right.
He'd done a lot of V8s, SR20s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I learnt a lot through him.
Yeah.
Only because I was always on the tools. Most of the stuff I learned from myself, and he'd teach me a few things as well. And
Yeah, you
just
had
went
no
from there.
option. You were sort of,
Yeah,
you had to work it
I
out,
had
right?
I had to learn when, customers coming here, we talk to customers. I'll be the only one in the workshop.
Yeah.
There's 2 hoists.
That's the best thing about a small shop. So I'm picturing a small shop, right?
Yeah,
Is it just you and him? Or
yeah, just
plus
me and
one?
him.
Yeah.
Just me and him. 2 hoist, 1 2-post and 1 4-hoist. There's
Yeah.
always cars on there, like project cars. Been like a V8 or something, or like
Yeah.
And you stuck jacking
SR20.
cars up in the middle of the
Yeah,
workshop.
yeah, keeps
Yeah,
you fit. But taking gearboxes out on the ground and
Yeah.
engines out and whatnot. And
These days,
Yeah, if you ask the
can you
boys.
imagine having someone do that at your
Yeah.
shop?
these days everyone wants hoists.
Mate, they don't want to jack it up and change a wheel.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But from there I was there for like 2 years, and then he ended up selling the business, and then I left because I didn't want to work for the guy that took over.
Take over, yep.
Then I started working at a normal mechanical shop, Ammo's Mechanical, just
Yeah.
servicing and repairs and all that kind of stuff. Learned a bit there as well, which was good, and Ammo was very good as well.
Yeah.
Taught me a fair bit. He knew a lot about V8s, XYs, and
So how old
Yeah.
were you then? 24?
no, I
22.
think it was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22.
So you didn't go to year 12?
No, I did go to year 12.
Yeah, okay.
I finished year 12.
Yep.
Had to for my parents.
Yeah.
But
What do your parents do? They're obviously, you mentioned doctor before and,
no, my parents. My dad does electrical,
yeah.
rotor winding.
Right,
So
okay.
yeah,
Yep.
there's not many people that do that.
No.
And mum works as well for Australia Post, and
So where'd the passion for cars come from?
well, all our mates.
Yeah.
My brother's 3 years older than me. I used to
Yeah.
when I was in school hang around his
Corrupt.
mates, and they got BMWs, E30s, and all this kind of stuff, Nissan Pulsars, and thought that was pretty cool
Yeah.
back then. But then
And you're probably one of the only mechanics out of the friend. Usually there's only like 1 or 2 mechanics.
yeah, well, out of my mates, I was pretty much the only one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I was doing my apprenticeship and all that, a few of my abs mates had Sylvia's S14, S15, and just started playing around with them a bit in the garage at my parents' house. And we changed turbos and ECUs. Like I didn't know much about ECUs, but
Yeah.
back then Unigroup,
Yep.
Yavuz from Unigroup, he was guiding us. What
Through all
ECU.
the processes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we put the ECU in it. I pretty much put everything together. Obviously, gone on forums as well, like Romanos was saying, learn a lot from there too.
Yeah.
I think we
But,
all started there.
Yeah, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do.
100%. The internet
Yeah.
is, and now we're the guys answering the phone,
Saying
Yeah.
don't
to
look on the
customers.
forward.
Yeah.
Tell them what to do.
Don't believe what you read.
That's it. But
That's
yeah,
only
it's-
because we've been there and done it and it didn't work.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the VL.
Like the VL.
I hate VLs.
Yeah.
No, they're not that
I love
bad.
them. Got a soft spot for the VL.
But
Got a soft spot.
yeah. So after that, just on a few cars, and by the time I knew I was qualified mechanic, I was going to leave the trade, but I don't know, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know, man. But yeah, I was gonna leave, and then just didn't happen. My dad ended up getting a shop in Ingleburn
Yep.
and doing his electrical motors because he was working for someone. Then he went out on his own.
That's the current shop.
No,
No.
the one before that.
Yeah.
It was on the other side, like a few streets away. You know, we had a bit of room there. So when Ammo's closed up, he was just about to close up the shop altogether. And he told me, he goes, Nav, I'm going to close up. I'm done with this. And, you know, he goes, you know, try to find a place. And then one of my other mates took over his business. You know, we were actually good friends as well.
Right.
So I said, okay, look, I don't want to, you know, it was good working for him. But, you know, when you're mates and that, look, sometimes it doesn't work out. So I go, look, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
And he was sweet with that, you know. And, yeah, and then bought a hoist. I think I had like, what, 4 or 5 grand in my bank.
Yeah.
Bought a hoist, put it in my dad's shop. And then, yeah, just all the customers, like, you know, that used to come there, they started calling me for servicing and all that kind of stuff. And then one of our good mates bought a GTR. That's where it started.
Yeah.
So he bought a grey R32 GTR and, you know, just done little repairs on it and stuff like that. And then one day he turns around and goes, let's take the head off, do head cams and stuff like that. I've never even touched a GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for people that have done GTRs,
Yeah. And this all seems cool and fun at the time, right?
that's fun. Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
So where does that put you? You're 23, 24 at the time, or?
Around there, I think 24 maybe. Yeah, that's when we started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it will be around 24.
And did you own a car already, or did you not have a car because you put all the money into setting up the shop? Well,
No, I did have a car. I did have the 180 I was building. Had
Yep.
big intentions like RB26
right.
and this
Okay.
and that.
Yeah.
So that, you know, had to leave that.
And your
behind.
mate would have known that
Yeah.
that was your thing, right? Okay. So he didn't just like go, "Hey, this is going to be your first performance car."
No. Like he knew, like we'd done a fair few S13s and
Yeah.
you know 180s, and you know we at that time we were using Unigroup for
Yep.
tuning.
Yep.
Yeah, also he guided us a fair bit as well.
Sure.
It's pretty switched on, and yeah, so he brought us this GTR. It's immaculate full stock. You
Yep.
know, didn't know what I was doing with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a learning curve, you know. So after, you know, him and brother came up with an idea, you know, we'll take the head off, do the head gasket, head studs, leading, you know, just take the twin turbos off, single turbo, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you haven't ever taken a intake side or a twin turbo set up off a GTR off a 32,
Yeah,
In the
don't do
car.
it.
oh,
Yeah.
man,
Quit
don't-
while you're ahead.
Just
Yeah.
pay us to do it.
Yeah.
We can do it a lot quicker. No, you know, it is hard. It's
Yeah.
very hard. You know, and halfway through, I was like, "Fuck, what did I get myself into?"
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah.
you're
Rip the
1,000
engine out.
hours in and halfway.
Yeah, like, you know, half the stuff. Like, where does even half the stuff go back on?
Yeah.
But anyways, we ended up doing it. You know, started the car, whatnot. Everything worked. I think at that time made 480 or 500 kilowatt, which was, you know,
Yeah.
pretty
it's up
sick.
there. Yeah. 85 or
85,
Yeah.
yeah. Yavuz tuned that one.
yeah.
And
What ECU?
it was a black box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used a lot of black box back then. The Morris Tech, I think they
Yeah.
were called, black box. Yeah, then started driving that on the streets. There's no roll racing back then or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
And back then, that sort of power is pretty good too.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah.
You know, nothing will catch you on the street. What we raced, nothing did.
Yeah.
But
we
ended
all
up-
sitting cross paths.
yeah, yeah. Lucky. No, and we took it to the drags, and I think I'd done a 1050, and then went back another time.
Which
We
was
put it-
fast.
Which was fast.
Yeah.
You know, 1050 or 1060. Anyways, we ended up putting a bit more boost in it over the months, and you know, ended up going 9.9,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
and you know, then we're just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And 9-second car.
Yeah.
And then, you know, another customer that we knew, he bought a GTR and he goes, I want the exact same thing. I'm like, no worries, let's go.
Yeah.
We've done the exact same thing. And then, yeah, from there, we just, started getting...
Now you're here, right?
Yeah, basically. And
But
then,
I mean, that's great for everybody to. I mean, somewhat. It's interesting because it's 6 years,
6 years.
maybe
I think-
let's call it 7 years
7 years to
to
be
go
safe.
from that to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Is amazing. But I mean, these aren't 8-hour days, right?
No, definitely not. There's a lot of hours.
So people think that that's just 7 years of normal work, but you've
Yeah.
really put in about 22 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
You know, so... Yeah, it's a lot of late nights.
Mm.
You know, anyone, obviously you guys know how much
Yeah.
effort goes into
Yeah.
these cars and whatnot, so, and especially when you're learning too.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, the shop got a bit too small. So my dad was using half of it, then I was using the front half, you know, so we didn't have room, and then we had to buy a bigger shop, and that's the shop that we're at now, which is about, I think, 330 square meters, which
Yeah.
we've already outgrown as well for, I think,
100%.
3
Yeah.
years ago, we've
Yeah.
outgrown it, you know, but we are looking for a bigger shop.
Yeah.
So, from there, we started doing more GTRs, a lot more Silvias.
Yeah.
That's what I started off on. And my brother was switched on with electrical stuff and all the tuning. He caught onto it pretty quick, with the, what combos to go, and so he'd be getting me the parts and I'd be fitting them up, and then then we started doing S15s and more 32s and 3s, no 34s yet.
It was
and
big dollars.
Bit of Evos in between, and then that's when Benny came along too.
Yep.
So Ben.
So Benny was pretty early in the piece. So who deals with the who deals with the customers?
So now it's me. It depends. Like me or Av can deal with them. Benny does a lot as well for us. All the electrical stuff. Like Ben knows.
So he just talks to the customer about that.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but realistically, if someone was to rock up or call, they could be talking to all three, any three.
Any three of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
'Cause at the end of the day, we know what we're gonna. I know what we're going to use in our engines and
Everyone knows.
in our
Everyone's on the same page.
Ben knows exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to know what Ben's going to say, and have the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page. So it doesn't
good.
really matter who you talk to.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you want something to get faster, we can make it happen.
That's it.
So Nav and Av, brothers, and then
Yep.
Ben, any family or just there's no family?
No family,
Okay.
but we're brothers. So
We're brothers for life.
pretty
now.
much.
Ben was a friend for a while though. Like I remember even back in the day when you first started and I was hiring your dyno.
Yeah.
Ben was around, because I was hiring of
Yeah, that was
night
a long
times.
time.
I was coming at like 9 o'clock at night
9 o'clock.
to run the car up.
Keeping us there till midnight.
Yeah.
And he's a good bloke, so we stayed back. That's all right.
I didn't have to do any of that. I would have just left the shop open, I think.
Yeah, you just have the shop open. Yeah.
It's funny. Ben, my dad would come into the shop and he'll think like Ben's me. You know what I mean? So we everyone thinks like we're brothers.
Yeah.
So that's why whenever
Oh
someone
man,
asks,
I get mixed up as well.
even my dad gets confused. He'll come in and like Navi, and Ben will turn around. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Oh god.
But so
I won't feel bad then if your dad's getting it mixed up.
yeah.
Where do you think your car passion came from, Romanos?
I'll start off with the old man. He was, hearing stories as a kid about all the cool cars he owned when he was a young fella. And then I think the bulk of it was from my first car.
Yeah.
The purple VL.
That really good experience you
That
had.
great experience, just tinkering around with that thing and cutting the springs in it,
Yep.
That
was our era.
Yeah.
Cutting springs. Cutties. Like you got cutties? Yeah, you got cutties.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing, right?
Driving through King's Cross.
Yeah.
Little laps of King's Cross.
Yeah.
Or,
I never did that.
oh, is it?
Let's go down to the rocks.
We did that.
Yeah, I did that
Shitty
at
missed
Buckley's,
out.
yeah.
That's really cool.
And they used to get to the what was it, Macquarie Chair or something that around the corner. I can't even remember what it was.
Is that your side of the M4?
Yeah.
No, I can't even remember where it was. Is that museum or something near King's Cross? They used to always meet up there.
Town hall?
No, I can't remember what it was. But we used to all meet up there and then drive through the cross and then drive
Wow.
back through the cross
Yeah.
and then go home.
No,
That was it.
I can admit that there was none of that. We didn't do any of that.
Yeah, we did
We-
that. We
I'll-
did laps of the city.
We were looking for straight
Yeah.
runs.
I'll do the laps around the city every now and then.
Us as P players, our cars weren't fast. We had to have sound
Yeah, but
systems and wheels.
Romanos is a
and
different story.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you guys. But we were looking for straight runs.
I
the-
was doing that too. The meetup used to be, when I was going to KKs.
Yeah.
And live on them from there, you'd all shoot off to, wherever we would end up, and it was on.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was good
Mexico.
fun. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was a little bit
It was
later.
never called Mexico back then. It wasn't hidden as much, I don't think.
How old are you, Joe?
I'm 30.
30. Okay, similar age to know.
Yeah.
You guys got dicked with your pre-plate rules.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I touched on this when we spoke to Anthony Matuk, but I rolled my car when I was 19. So it was the end of my green peas, where we didn't have any of those high performance rules.
You just fucked it for us.
And
It's
it was
his
my fault.
Yours, Anthony's. Who else's roller car?
Yeah.
Blame them.
No, you're right. It was my fault. It was my fault. We saved your life.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And I had to redo my piece. So I lost my license for a year and then had to redo my piece for 2 years, which meant I then had to sit in the new rules.
No way.
So I felt both. I had the 2 year Ps and then lost it and then had to redo Ps under the new rules.
So you can drive turbo cars?
No.
Oh,
You
that
proved
sucks.
I could for up until I was 20 and then from 20 to 20 to 21 I
Probably
think I had
worse.
better.
Shit go, yeah. That's a real-
It was
It's probably
worse.
worse.
But you did prove
got
that
to
you
experience
couldn't,
it, and then it's just taken away from you.
Yeah, I proved
You
I
know?
couldn't do it. Yeah.
Mm.
No, it's good. And this is all whilst you had a Falcon.
Yeah.
Is it fast?
Gearbox EB. It was fast. 14.0 NA manual. It was fast back in the day.
Really brought the engine builders back into fruition because they couldn't put turbos on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to talk comp and camshaft. You know what I mean? Like back in the olden days.
Yeah.
Whereas now we don't worry about that.
That's it.
Not as much. You know, it's tell me what turbo and I'll tell you what I'll make.
Yeah.
Whereas old school days.
Yeah, what did your cylinder head flow and what size camshafts and there was no technology for ECUs and
how do we make this airspeed faster
without it.
without doing But thankfully turbochargers were invented. So much more fun.
Navi, what do you reckon I better read the sheet. What's the fastest car you've ever built, driven or owned?
Fastest car built was probably Romanos' RHM.
Yeah.
Driven.
Yeah.
Owned. We did build.
You pretty much own.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let's see.
I call
He
it a
told
shop
me.
car now.
He always tells me
Yeah,
like
lives
whenever you want to drive it.
Yeah.
But my own personal car was oh man, I didn't really have much fast cars for myself. Like only the S15s and that.
Who's
but
got the blue R34? Is that you?
I've got that. Yeah. Okay. But like I don't really race that. It makes 1,000 horsepower, but it's I don't really race it. Don't have time. Don't have time for your own cars. Yeah. But I bought Street Fighter off Josh. Mm-hmm. So we've driven that a few times, and I did buy Chris's old car, Hate Me.
Yeah.
So that was pretty quick. I think that's about it.
What's the shop's quickest ET in mile an hour?
Quickest ET was 8.1 in Street Fighter.
Yeah, wow.
That's a manual car.
That's a manual car, sequential, yeah. So
178 or something?
I think I done 174 or 172.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So that was the fastest manual
That's,
GTR for I think about 3 years. And then it held the record for a fair bit.
Yeah.
And then now the ones that we've built is, over the years, like we've done autos and a couple of autos that were pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But most of our customers just want to go to roll racing, so they don't really want to go to drags.
And with the roll racing cars, do you push them to go manual or auto? Auto's easier, right?
Auto's a lot easier, a lot easier and everything. Driveline and it's more consistent as well.
Yeah.
For the driver, it's a lot easier for the driver.
Yeah. You have to rely on driver input as anywhere near as much.
No, that's right. Yeah. For a manual, you need a good driver. You need someone that's switched on, knows what they're doing.
Yep.
If you can't, you've never driven a fast manual car, then you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you put me in one, I'll give it a go.
Yep.
But I won't be consistent.
It's not easy. People don't understand how hard it is to be consistent clicking gears.
Yeah.
Like obviously everyone's watched the video of you clicking gears at roll racing.
It's not even that. The shifting part of it's the easy part.
No, but getting it at the right time.
It's taking off is the hard part.
It's taking off, yeah.
And then, I used to do it, but I used to do it with a H pattern, right? Evo days, dog box H pattern. So there was I didn't have any, torque reduction, shift cuts or anything like that. Yeah. So it was literally you get off the throttle, shift as fast as possible and back on it. But when you look at throttle position data, you don't go to 0%.
No.
You're going from 100 to 70, enough to unload the box, and you're straight in the next gear and you're back on 100.
Yeah.
And it's within, 40 milliseconds.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our customers would be able to do that.
Nah, these days, good luck. Anyone that wants a dog box, I try and say, hey, look, unless it's a drag car and you've driven one before, I think you should invest in going a sequential.
Yeah.
Because we've had people go, first, second, third, fourth. First,
yeah. money shift.
There's a possibility from going first to second to first again.
Yeah, so, this was worse, right? And I've never seen a head like it before.
Yeah.
So, it was one thing to upgrade to the Hollinger, but then we had to build an engine as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's when I had the car, I'd never done that ever. But it's you definitely got to be able to drive.
Yeah.
And clutch engagement, throttle. It's got to be. You and that car need to be one.
That's right.
Right? Once you get that feeling and you know what that thing's doing and it feels like you're connected to the car, you'll know that feeling and you'll be right from the start on. And that's the only way to explain it.
Yeah. Which the only way to get that is experience, right? Or building up to it. So how long do you think it took you to get comfortable in RHM?
RHM, mate, RHM.
I think you picked it up pretty quick.
Yeah,
That's the thing, right?
I feel like sometimes some people can't be taught.
Correct.
I feel like but it didn't take me too long. But after 3-4 runs at roll racing, getting a feel of the car, I felt pretty comfortable. And then just playing around with it.
Yeah, and no doubt you built up from other cars or other platforms.
Do you know what
The guy's driven VLs, man.
I was a big VL guy, and then I had a massive break from the car scene for a long time. Like I'm probably 7 years. I probably stayed away from cars, and then I just went spastic all at once on RHM.
Yeah,
So
good.
So it's natural for you then.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
If you didn't have the brake, you probably wouldn't have been able to go spastic
no, probably not.
because you would have been dumping a mortgage every year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
But,
I do believe that some people can't be taught.
yeah,
It's I see people drive all the time, so it's easy for me to go, okay, he's a driver and he's not a driver.
Yeah,
And that's the best thing about the cars that we try and specialize in. You almost don't need to know how to drive.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
You can still stuff it up. It's been proven.
yeah,
But it's easier.
yeah.
Whereas the stuff that I was driving, growing up, like you were talking about, there's no way you get away with it.
Yeah.
You just lose every race for a start.
Yeah.
I had a 2.4 litre Evo with a PBG dog box and GT 4202. So there was no GDX back then. There was no billet wheel, right? They used to make cast wheels. You probably don't know about it.
Definitely.
So yeah, they're lazy, big ass turbo for a 4-cylinder, and no nitrous, and tech wise, we had nothing. Like now people are rolling anti-lag, all that kind of stuff. Like I had nothing. It was all pretty much how you drive the car. You drive it very raw, right?
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
with not many aids. But yeah, it's just there's not many people that get into that. But I actually miss it. So when I do jump in a car that's got all those raw old stuff,
Is that what you prefer?
I think it just reminds me of the old
It
days.
takes you back in time.
I just want to give it a hit.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
he'd build another one. I reckon he would.
Yeah.
Just
I'd
to
build
have,
another one.
just to have in the shed.
The problem is I wouldn't do it the same way.
Would it be an Evo?
Well, yeah, it'd have to be the same. I want to go back out in the drag strip because I watch
Okay.
other people go out there and struggle, and I just want to go out there and do it.
You feel like you can show them up, huh?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
not
you
in a
do.
competition sense, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
I just feel like a lot of them are overcomplicated. Like I
Okay.
see all these, the cars have got too many things going on,
Yeah.
and then the basics they haven't thought about.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there and bogging off the line or frying the tyres, and it's either that or the other. And I'm like, man, I was pretty consistent on the line. Like
Yeah.
1.145 was probably the quickest 60 in that car, but an average of it was under 1.6.
That's
Average. So
It's good.
my hardest thing was going from first to second, just unloading the box enough
Okay.
without getting off it and nosing it over, enough to get the second gear, and then you're out, like you're on.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest thing for that car. So yeah, but these days I'm watching them all struggle in the line. But and don't get me wrong, they're running good numbers. Like what are they doing now? Like high 8s or something.
Yeah.
But they're going 20 mile an hour faster in the deep end. So like
Yeah.
they're making up for the ET in the by
More power.
making an extra 300-400
Yeah.
horsepower, whatever it is up
Yeah.
top. So it does make me a bit keen to go back to that. But yeah,
Looks like you're having too much fun in the just keeping your foot flat and just hold the steering wheel.
autopilot,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't even get to drive anymore. So
Here we go. Yeah.
yeah,
They're a great platform though. It's amazing what they're capable of doing.
crazy, crazy.
It is crazy to think about. We always talk about how we can't explain how good it feels all round. Those
Yeah.
cars just to get in them and do what they
Yeah.
do. It's
Only
hard to
because
explain.
it's more of a gentleman's car, right? I mean, you can be young and still love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when you've got another 10 years on you,
Yeah.
or maybe even now, you want to be able to get in that car
Yeah.
that you call a race car and cruise it on the weekend.
Yeah.
Just knowing it's there,
Yeah.
you don't have to see boost.
Yeah.
Just knowing it, hearing it, whatever it may be, is enough for you to go, fuck, I love that car. You know, like it's enough. And then you get to take it to roll racing and then actually be competitive somewhat.
You might have to organise a passenger ride soon. You know, I haven't had the chance to experience this yet, but
you have to
make that happen. Yeah,
they do
you
look
definitely
pretty
make
cool.
that happen.
Yeah, that's that. I thought you'd already been.
No, I haven't.
No, we're
I
too
haven't.
busy putting
I've
our
taken-
customers in
I was
your
going
car.
to say it. I've taken a couple of your customers now. You know, I think it's it's time to switch it up a bit.
Yeah, Imran went in.
Did he?
Romanos'
What did
car,
you
yeah.
think? How was he as a passenger?
Well, I was actually quite keen. I was because
He was a good passenger.
he's
He's
a good
very quiet.
Yeah,
he's
he
very
is,
quiet.
yeah.
You know,
he's quiet in general, right?
Yeah, he loved it though.
I think he's scared.
Yeah, I think most people that get in the car
100%.
shit themselves.
Yeah, it's just so raw, right?
It is. I love it, and that's what I do like about it. You know, I guess when I try to explain like roll racing to my missus sometimes. You know, she just thinks like it's all about racing, but you have all these different groups, right? And like you have your position boys.
Yeah.
We call them the gentleman. You call them like the gentleman's class.
Wait,
or
what do you
whatever.
call us?
There was a bit of a stutter there.
I call you guys the rich boys.
Oh, the rich boys, yeah,
the rich
okay.
boys. You know, it's me trying to explain to my missus. You know, and then you got the B2R guys. She's like, well, what are you guys? You know, we're the guys that just like to race. You know, we just want to get in there and have a go. And
Do you ever go home and say, "Fuck, the rich boys beat us again"?
no, that hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. So no, that hasn't been said.
Oh shit! Jeez,
You walked into that one.
When that white
Nah,
Lambo hit the wall, that really took the spotlight off that.
It really did.
It did,
you know?
didn't it?
It did. I'm not gonna deny it, but yeah.
Yeah. What did it take the spotlight off?
I can't remember. But there was something there that happened, and I don't know. But
Or the cooler pipe come off?
no, not that time. But yeah,
Nah, that was a good run though. That was
good fun.
That was Tony's car versus Romanos.
it was.
It was good. That was actually an awesome run.
It was.
That was nail biting.
Got a
is
bit
what we're
loose
there
there.
for,
It was
right?
good fun.
We love
That was
those kind of
cracker
races.
Oh, 100%.
Always.
You know,
And
you're not going to win them all. You know,
100%.
I say this all the time. You know, to a lot of the guys. You know, when you got so many of these big cars now. You know, it's a good. On the night, there's probably 5 cars there at a time. It could be either one of them. Either one.
100%.
It's whoever's going to get out that hole the cleanest is going to get the win.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It all comes down to the start.
Yeah.
It will make or break a race because, like you said, the top say 5-6 cars are
Yeah.
all equally matched. There's nothing in between them. So
No.
it's whatever whoever's going to get.
There's more in driver error
Yes.
than there is in the
Yes.
cars.
100%.
If you line them all up,
Yeah.
there's more in driver error.
Yeah, and traction. The track changes all overnight, and it actually
Yes.
gets colder as the night goes on. So
Yep.
you're ending up with less power than you started with.
Mm.
But it's all fun. Like we all
Well,
love
you end
having a
up with
laugh.
more power for some people.
Well, not if you
Yeah.
take it out.
We're taking it out.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
I'm sure they do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, some cars, I don't know. Are you guys pulling power out towards
We
the end
are.
of the night?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Depends how the car's going.
Yeah.
You know, if it's getting traction, then
Yeah,
kind of try
send
leaving
it.
it. It's
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Romanos is smiling there like,
It's always send it.
Yeah.
send it. He thinks he's turning it down.
And
but the thing is with him, like he does not back off.
yeah.
Yeah.
The car will be facing sideways. He'll just stay into it.
Yeah.
And are you in control of the power settings, or did the boys plug the laptop in?
Look, there's 3 settings I have control of. There's 3 different boost settings I have on the button there. But the boys are always, if I come back, if I feel it's too loose, if they see something that I can't see on the track, pull up, either Ben, Av will jump in, plug the laptop in and make some fine adjustments there.
Yeah.
Go out, how did it feel? Give the feedback and then go again. And, usually we do get that car dialed in pretty well for the night. And
How is it going? Like, you go regularly, right?
yeah,
You're pretty much there every time.
almost every
Yeah.
event.
Yeah, that's the same as us. Are you making changes every time?
Yeah. We're always constantly, pushing that car. I guess.
Yeah, and
there's
no one
always
will
something
believe
to-
that, right? They'll think, once the car's tuned,
Yeah.
you're going to the same place at the same time, just a different month. How can it be so different?
I think every time you go out, you have to, you have to try something different because there's always going to be that another
Everybody's,
person,
always thinking
you're
that.
going to come out next month and be like,
Yeah.
this is what we done last month wrong. Let's do this time. There's always going to be someone faster.
Everyone's
But,
pushing.
everyone's pushing.
Yeah.
100%.
And,
Yeah, like we were saying it in some of our other videos, where like everybody's starting to defy physics. Where it's whoever can propel that thing down the track. It's slipping the whole way, mind you.
Yeah.
Like you say, he'll stay into it when he's sideways.
Yeah.
just to try and get down that.
Yeah,
down that thing.
the Huracan stuff, the big turbo ones, where it'll turn tyres at the very end, like 278 Ks.
Wow.
We can make them turn tyres there. But we got to have it on the edge the whole way in a safe manner, right? But it's not all about safe and driver. The TCU wigs out if it sees too much wheel slip. And it'll do crazy stuff with shifting. So
So it'll like change the gear when you...
it'll
when it's supposed to
upshift and
change.
downshift
Yeah,
all within
okay.
like 10 milliseconds. And it'll do like 8 of those in 100 milliseconds.
And that's just from it breaking traction?
More
Yeah,
so when it rocks. So if it breaks traction front or rear,
Yeah.
and then the wheel speed overtakes the other,
Uh-huh.
Then
So
it
it's
does
seeing
something
two
weird.
different
Yeah.
wheel
Differences,
speeds.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
so it'll shift up, down, say 3 times within.
from the
0.1.
outside, it sounds like a misfire.
So is
Yeah.
that something you guys are constantly playing with at the track?
100%.
Yeah.
100 every time.
We're now at the point where we're like, no, we need more traction. We need better tires. Which is why when we saw you with the Heroes, and you've had good results with them, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It was very surprising actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were actually going to work as well as they have been.
Yeah.
Especially on the 18s. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone's like, 15s.
If you
Everyone's
did a
15s.
back-to-back with a Mickey in the Super Street or Street R's, whatever, would you say that they're noticeably better?
100%.
Yeah.
Traction wise.
100%. Look, this is going on a street surface.
Yes.
You know, I'm not going to say on a drag strip because I don't know. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
But on a street surface, when I had the 15s, I was running 275, 50, 15. I would, on a street surface, it would bomb first, second, and third. As soon as I put the Mickey's, the Heroes on the 18s, man, it bombed first, and then as soon as it grabbed second, it was like gone.
And you would never have
Yeah.
felt that before.
No way.
You would have been like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, I think just having the 15s drive like shit on the road.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yep.
You know, I feel like a boat.
Yeah.
You know, but I think just having the 18 on it was it's a lot more comfortable to actually drive on the street.
And you got
Yeah.
the bigger brakes now, right?
Yeah. Well, I had 35 brakes sitting at home for like a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and then as soon as the tire combo and wheel combo worked, I was like, you know what, fuck it, put the bigger brakes on.
Yeah.
I think that night at roll racing, he said, we need to put the 35 brakes on.
Yeah.
I'm never
Not pulling up.
His exact words, never putting the 15s back on it.
Yeah, that's right.
There's
Yeah.
no way the 15s are going
100%.
back. It's a lot nicer to drive.
Yeah.
But
And do you feel like you've built this car the way you envisioned it? Is this did you picture this? And be
I'm
like,
your
"That's what I
standard
want"?
guy that walks into a shop, and goes, I want 1,000 horsepower street car. And then 1 year later, you know, what are we making? Close to 1,800 horsepower
Yeah.
now.
Crazy, eh?
You know,
that's
so-
where it started off. It started
Yeah.
from the cast block,
Yeah.
making 1,000 horsepower, just a street car,
Yeah.
sequential. That's what
Yeah.
he wanted.
That's all I wanted. Yeah, I got a Navi, build me a 1,000 horsepower car.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to cruise on the street, take it out, maybe go roll racing
A
here
few
and
little
there.
hits. Yeah, maybe roll racing. I like how
maybe.
they say that.
It was, you know.
Yeah.
Then I went to put a bit more boost in it. Oh,
Yeah.
It's on 1,200.
Yeah.
What if you put a bit of nitrous into it?
Yeah.
1,300, 1,400.
Same engine.
That was the same engine,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think when we started going a lot with RHM, you know, he wanted to, you know, he knew it was competitive.
Yeah.
So, you know, he'd make it through the whole night. You know, if
Sure.
he actually won on a couple on the 3.2 when I was
Yeah, we
making, I think 1,200 horsepower.
Wow.
Then, and
It's just, if everyone just turns things back down again, we'll save everyone a lot of money.
and a lot of stress.
We'll just go there and all race with a limit of like, say, 1,300.
But it's funny when you think about it. You go back to, like, when you think about it, it's probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The cars were nowhere near as fast. It's only 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, maybe say
See,
2-3 years. It's like, you know, you have a 1,200 horsepower car 2 years ago.
It's big dog, yeah.
You're going to be competitive. You're going to have a chance to win. Now,
Yeah.
now, no.
We had Moe's R32 GTR, B2R GTR, then it was Street Killer.
Street Killer.
That silver one, you know, what was that, about 4 years ago? It was sequential and, you know, making 1,000, 1,100 horsepower. And the car won probably at least 10 to 12 roll racings.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just always used to win. You know?
Yeah, wow.
And
That's great.
back then, like, you know, those cars making 900 horsepower, 800, they couldn't keep up with the GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there wasn't actually many GTRs that were going to roll racing.
Yeah, I remember
So-
when we had like Tony's Falcon, the Sly 310, 1,000 horsepower rear wheel drive Falcon, and it was in, you know, top 5-ish, or, you know, top 3 if it was a good night, if it was good traction. But yeah, that's not going to happen these days.
And a couple of years later, Bill was strapped,
Yeah.
rocked up to the shop, and didn't even know him. He just walked in. He goes, "Man, I want to build sequential 3.2, same as our customer Moe's." And we'd done his car, and then he started winning roll racing too.
That car won on its first night out. I remember.
Yeah, on
that.
its first night out, he won on his first night out, and and he was a good driver too.
Yeah.
So helped as well, and then from there just we started seeing more bigger cars coming, and pushing more. And
1300 becomes the standard, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want the base package, do you?
yeah, pretty much.
Now,
Yeah.
Now it's just
yeah, it's crazy.
all out.
So, more on the RHM
Yep.
build specs. How much do you talk about? It's a 3.4 litre.
It's a 3.4.
Yeah, billet block by bullet.
Yeah, billet block by bullet.
Yeah. Is that like a dry deck thing or?
No, it's still a wet deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a wet deck. We're still on an MLS, Toma head gasket.
Wow.
It's
Toma head gasket.
Toma head gasket, yeah. Does the
Holy
job.
shit.
Perfect.
It's unheard of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But
good.
It's good.
No issues.
No issues. No
Yeah.
issues. We've been running that car for, I think now, close to 10 months, maybe a year.
Yep. Yep.
And
And it's been pumped every
about
time.
10
It's been
months,
pumped
yeah.
every
Yeah.
time.
So, just to quickly touch on that, the Toma head gasket on a cast iron block. Have you ever had issues?
No, not on a cast iron.
So you haven't really seen the limit of a Toma head gasket.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Interesting.
And on the billet block, it's been fine. And so far, we're up to 1750, I think, to be exact, 1740
Yep.
horsepower, and everything's been perfect. So we haven't
Yep.
really touched it, but soon we're building another one now that's going to be around 2000 horsepower, which is a dry deck.
Yeah.
Um,
And you're just sort of preempting that you already know that you're at the edge of things.
yeah, we're already at the
And you'd
edge.
rather not have a problem than
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, wow. So 3.4 litre. What are they generally what you use, or do you normally use the 3.2?
No, we use the 3.2s from
Yeah.
Nitto. We did try the 3. His car was the first billet block we've done,
Right.
and on a 3.4 as well.
Yeah.
So we do use a lot of stuff, 3.2 stuff, which is
Have you
heaps
seen any
good.
benefits of the 3.4 over this over?
A lot more torque.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more torque, and the power does come on a lot better as well. But it depends what you're using it for.
Mhm.
Like roll racing, his car with the, we were only running a 80, 85.
Yep.
Actually, we had 86, 85, and then went back to 80, the new gen, the next gen, 86.
Next gen, yeah.
80, 85. And man, it was very responsive.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was super responsive
With the 3.4.
with the 3.4.
Yeah. And
We've
keeping in mind
overlaid
it's a manual car, so you
Yeah.
want that capacity
Yeah.
to bring on the turbo, obviously.
Yes, yeah. And even if you overlay it on the dyno with 3.2,
Mhm.
you can see how much responsive
Wow.
more it is.
What are we talking, like 500 RPM or something, or more?
More.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a
It's
big
all
difference, chalk and
Big
cheese.
difference, yeah.
Interesting.
And that's where it's quick, because out of the hole, it's gone.
Yeah.
The car's gone. Yeah.
And that's obviously the stroke, right? Because the bore
Yep.
size is the same. So
So
traditionally,
the ball size on that is 90 mil. We've got 90 mil.
oh, it's 90 mil ball.
It's 90 mil ball on that one.
Wow.
The stroke's the same, isn't it?
The straight same.
Okay, so the added capacity is all in the ball size.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Because my worry was, are you having issues with harmonics now? Because you've increased the stroke heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So stroke is the same.
Stroke
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
same,
Cool.
yeah. And then it's been
Big bore and Tome
bore.
head gasket. So
and Toma head gasket.
how does Tome head?
Oh, it's a custom made. So I think, Bullet custom. I think they Toma custom makes it for Bullet.
Wow.
So 90 mil.
Okay,
So you can only
this
buy
is-
it through Bullet.
Here I'm thinking this is off the shelf Tome head gasket you'd use on a cast block, and you're putting it on a billet block.
Yeah.
So custom made through Bullet.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
So you get the head gasket from Bullet.
Yeah. So when we buy the block,
Yep.
it'll come,
With an MLS gasket.
Yeah. If we buy the strokey kit and everything from them, then yes, it does come with a head gasket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's
That's
crazy how far technology's come. Like
Mm.
Yeah.
It is.
in every way, not just ECUs and everything, even CNC technology to be able to make a billet block to
Yeah.
do what we do with them. Cylinder, I hear cylinder heads are coming as well. Is that right? Or
Yeah, there are.
There's
I
been
think, a
talk
couple
of it.
Yeah.
There's been talk of that.
Is it
Yeah.
required?
Oh, we haven't
Are you
really
cracking
found,
heads and stuff?
Nah, we haven't found the limit yet. So
So it'll only be to make some sort of unnatural port, which
yeah,
just put some gas and turbo on it.
that's it.
Mm.
But
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So manual gearbox. It's a sequential
Albans.
Albans
Yeah.
and
6 speed.
speed.
Some
6
people
speed.
think it's 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a myth.
Is that
Yeah,
because
it's not true.
Is that because it's not shifting, or you're just shifting that much that it seems?
Look, there was a period of time where, we had the car turn up a bit, and it was
wheel spinning?
wheel spinning, and it was hitting an ignition cut and wasn't grabbing second.
Yeah, because you're not unloading
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so then there's a bit of talk going around that, you know, we're running a 7-speed. Just
Because you pulled the shifter like 8 times.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's it. Eh?
Yeah, nice. Okay, so the Albans and clutch.
Clutch is a direct twin plate.
So I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good thing because I know out of everybody, I've seen Romanos treat a clutch as bad as you could treat a clutch.
Yeah.
So I think I was talking to Ben one night. I was like, how many times do you change the clutch a month? And he was like, dude, we haven't changed it once yet.
Yeah.
And,
You know what? We changed it for the first time. Recently? What happened? 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
for 2
12,
weeks, yeah.
12
2 weeks
sort of
ago,
1 year old, right?
Since the billet's been in, so what's it?
Yeah.
Close to 1 year. It's been about
Yeah,
10 months.
10 months or a year.
Yeah,
now.
it's
Of-
crazy.
Of abuse.
Yeah,
Like,
and
proper
I
abuse.
was actually proper surprised. You know, and at the time I'm riding this thing, you know, thinking this is the only way I'm getting out of hole quick, so
Yeah.
I've just got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, you know, what's the
If it breaks, it
expensive-
breaks, right?
Yeah, it's a clutch. You know, as long as you're not going to break a box or transfer
Yeah.
case or whatever it is.
You had
know.
a spare one on
Yeah.
the shelf, so ready.
But yeah, man, that thing cops a belting. Like it impressed. I was super impressed with how long that thing lasted.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. You know, so
Crazy.
And I think like even when we say that he absolutely gives it hell, I still don't think people understand that
No.
you're slipping the clutch to load the engine up
Yes.
at 6.5, maybe 7,000 RPM,
yeah,
enough to build boost. So there's
Yeah.
enough load going through that
Yeah.
thing
yeah.
to build boost.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're slipping it for. So you know, so you bring that boost up,
Yeah.
and then so when you do fully engage, in
Let go of that clutch,
let go
and
of
it
the clutch,
grabs, right?
It just grabs and goes.
Yeah. Not instead of any other clutch you'd think would slip.
Yeah,
Sleep.
Yeah.
yeah.
And is that triple plate?
No, twin plate.
Yeah, wow.
So it's a custom 9-inch twin plate.
Unbelievable.
Sintered clutch. It's pretty
How
heavy.
does it drive on the street? Like just normal taking off? Has it got good slip or it's very bitey?
Do you know what? It's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. We've got a new clutch in there now, and that feels a lot bitier now. But I don't know if that's because it's just been put in there.
Yeah.
You know, but the clutch that that we're running for 10 months, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
And essentially this was the same, right? It's the same.
Exact
or
same
did you
clutch.
guys change
No,
something?
No,
exact
it's
same.
exactly
Yeah,
the
so
same.
So we're talking about the exact same clutch. That other one's gone back and been rebuilt.
Yep.
And you know, even they said we just still reckon it would have a few more events
Wow.
out of it, so which is pretty good.
Yeah,
So
unbelievable. And
it's always good to have a spare one there, but
100%, especially treating them like that. That's not even
Yeah.
heard of.
No.
I've never even seen people take off like that before.
well, when we go to roll racing, I think people only started knowing we'll actually, you know, ride on the clutch when he started posting the in-car videos.
Well, no one knew. Everyone thought we were
Yeah.
using some sort of
Yeah,
like clutch
something.
slipper or
Yeah.
something at the
Touch
start. They're like,
anti-lag
hey,
or
yeah,
whatnot, you
they
know.
didn't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
For
then when
a
he
long time,
posted
yeah.
up, you know, of the in-car and everyone, I think the roll racing after the next month, we heard Evos, GTRs, everyone started
Oh,
riding.
wow. Doing the same thing.
At the line screaming.
Oh yeah, there's
dumping
more and more
clutches.
cars using that same technique now. You know, and I'm just hopefully they're using the right clutch.
Yeah, that's right. Far around.
The clutch
It just
manufacturer.
shatters and explodes.
Wow.
Mm.
I should start stocking clutches. Is that what you're saying? The Evos. Okay, so and then rear end.
Rear end, it's got a Hollinger 9-inch. So from and billet shafts and you know all the whole.
Hollinger make the diff.
Yeah, they make the diff for Race Tech, I think it is Race Tech. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they sell you a whole kit.
Yeah.
So Race Tech make you like all the mounts and stuff like that.
So
They
I'm
supply
picturing
your
some
stuff.
cast aluminium housing, or is it all billet?
It's a
or?
cast housing.
Yeah.
Cast alloy, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's got like the billet mounts on a billet yoke,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So it's beautiful.
And is this
Yeah.
bolt-in for 34 or?
Oh, it's not really. It is bolt-in.
Yeah.
Just on the subframe, you got to drop the subframe.
Yeah.
You know, cut a section out, and they give you the plates to weld on there.
Oh,
and,
nice. Yep.
Yeah. While you
Okay.
do that, you put all your adjustable arms and,
Yeah.
solid bushes and all that kind of stuff.
Is it
But,
an expensive setup to do the rear end or not really?
Oh, it's roughly.
What do you call expensive?
Yeah.
It's probably not expensive for you.
It's not expensive
for
for you guys.
So does it include axles?
Sorry? It includes axles as well.
So
the
including
Porsche-
axles, center, all the
Yeah.
tail shaft? No.
No, still,
you got the
still
Albans
running factory tail shaft.
I don't know. Is it like 18 grand?
It's
20,
roughly
22?
Look, by the time you do all the arms and all that kind of stuff, it's around 22 to 25k.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'd
around
expect.
there. But then again, you break a stock GTR diff now, it's
It's
two and a
not
half
worth it.
grand.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
break that 3 times.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
axles these days are bloody expensive as well. Like I remember
Yeah.
when I was buying axles for 3.5 grand from Drive Shaft Shop. Yeah, like the Lambo axles are over 9 grand.
Wow.
For
Yeah,
actual-
GTR ones are about 5.5.
Yeah.
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 Not cheap.
Yeah, R35 GTR we're paying about 7, close to 7.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, nothing's cheap anymore. That's for sure.
No.
And so you've got Link ECU on this car.
In Link
Yep.
ECU. Yeah, just a plug and play ECU.
Plug and
We're
play
still
ECU.
using the factory engine harness on it.
Yeah, nice.
So
Yeah.
it's
And
all
you've
plug and
added
play.
an extra injector harness, I'm assuming. You've got 12 injectors or 6?
Six injectors.
Six.
Wow.
Yeah, we're running the ID.
Big injectors.
IDX's
The
2600s.
2600s?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We may have to go to 12 soon.
We will.
You'd
yeah.
be at the limit.
We're pretty much at the limit at the moment.
Mechanical pump, fuel pump.
No,
No,
it's got a
Big no-no.
electric. So it's got a ID fuel kit in it.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think you guys.
I think we sold you that. Did we?
I think you guys sold us one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think that was the first one we put in your car from these guys. We got it off these guys.
Benny?
Yeah. Benny organised it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're an ID dealer. So,
Yeah.
Good pumps.
yeah, amazing.
'em.
Amazing
Love
that
'em.
you could make that
It is.
horsepower.
It is. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. And variable
Yeah.
speed, right? So you're not having to have this stupid pressure at the start. And I mean, mechanical pump, you've got the fuel vaporizing on hot starts and you need a prime pump.
They are a massive
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
You got to worry about another belt coming off.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. I like
No.
electric pump.
So do I.
Yeah. Electrics.
It's another thing
Nice and simple.
technology's given us.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. No,
pretty
they're
crazy
a
when
good
you-
thing. I think in our applications, we don't have the space for the controller. That's the downside for our application. There's just no space. We're just so space poor
Yeah.
with the V10 platform.
We got plenty of room in the boot.
Yeah.
And if it's going to work, we'll make some room for
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Yeah. So
We're doing another car at the moment. It's got 2 of those. So 2 kits in them.
The
Wow.
boogeyman. This thing's going to be a
Yeah,
beast.
Boogeyman.
It's a
Auto.
boogeyman.
And yeah, 3.6.
Big setup.
Yeah.
What is
Block.
this? What car?
It's R32 GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's running 2 of them.
Auto.
Auto, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, ours race card
Yeah.
box. And he's gone all out.
So it's going to be a 6-second car.
Hopefully.
That's
Yeah.
the plan,
It
right?
the plan is to run a low 7.
Yep.
And then from there, we'll progress.
Go from there.
Yeah. We'll try going for 6. But yeah, we want to get the lowest 7.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we'll see where it takes us.
So this one will be a full wire job, obviously, because it's a full ground up build,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, so Benny's wiring up the whole car.
Yep.
Front to
and that'll have an M150
No, Link.
Link ECU. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even try and sell that.
No.
But I know it'll have a Motec
We'll
dash.
buy about 3 links, but yeah. Sorry.
3
No,
links.
definitely have a Motec dash.
Motec dash.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's got a
And
1, 2,
PDM?
1, 2. PDM, we're using...
Is that the black box as well?
no. What was it? ECU Master.
ECU master.
Yeah.
Mm, PDU 16 or
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're running 2 of them. We're running
Yeah.
2 of them. One at the front for the, body electrical stuff.
Yep.
Like we had lights, all that kind of stuff's going to be off the PDM. And then
Yep.
the one at the back for the fuel pumps and all the other
Yeah,
accessories.
nice. Good.
So,
yeah, very cool.
yeah, this thing should be pretty cool.
Yeah,
What's the ETA for that?
Well, probably be another few months.
Yeah. What does the
Yeah.
customer think?
Customer thinks it should have been done yesterday. But you know how it is with parts,
Yep.
We're actually supposed to go sequential 3.4, exactly like Romanos' car before.
Yep.
That was the plan.
Right.
And then I went to auto, bigger turbo, drags.
He's probably
Wants
thinking, by the
drags.
time I do this, Romanos is going to go to the next step. So I'm going to be
so I'll
left
just
behind.
jump.
I'm good where I am
You
right
good?
now.
Yeah.
There's got to be a line you draw, I think.
100%.
And I'm happy where the car is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. We'll do a few little tweaks here and there, We got a...
Leaves room for a Huracan.
Maybe. You guys going to give me one?
Yeah. They get asked that every time we ever talk with someone. How do you... So a car build like that is massive, right?
Yeah.
People just assume that it's normal and easily achieved. How do you qualify a customer and want to go ahead with doing that job for a customer? How do you qualify the customer?
Oh, well, it's a hard one.
Have they had other cars or like do you build them up? You're like, hey,
Yeah, we do build them up, but it just depends. Like a lot of people see it online, all the stuff. So
Yeah, so they know what you're about, right?
Yeah,
But,
they know what we're about.
but you don't know what they're about, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
you just- I guess you just have to talk to them and
I guess you
see
can kind
how-
of feel them out after you have a chat with them
Yeah.
after a while and
Yeah,
create
you kind
that...
of you know what they want.
Yeah. Okay, and
After you talk
is this a customer already or is this first time customer?
This one
Yeah.
that we're doing the car for? No, this is the first time.
All right, so this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
So first time customer, has he got any other fast cars? Do you ask him this?
Never. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But he's never
So he's
driven
never had a
one.
fast car.
So yeah, he needs to learn.
And
real quick.
for everyone listening,
Real quick.
what's a car like this budget build worth?
Something like that. Oh, I mean,
I know there's
depends.
no end to this build,
Yeah.
right? Because I realize that you're going to get it to one point and then you're going to keep going.
you're going to keep going.
But
yeah.
let's just say the first stage of the build before it hits the track and hopefully run a low 7. What's the budget?
I think it's around mid 200s,
Yeah,
around 250,
mid-twos.
around there. But
Yeah.
depending what you do, like, you know, if you want carbon doors and all that kind of stuff,
Oh,
which,
then it spirals out of
you know,
control.
it goes out of control. Then you're off for paint work and,
Yeah.
you know.
And that
seats
mid 2s, is that roll cage, teched, painted,
So
wheels,
that's-
tires? Or is this like, no, that's
Mechanical.
No, so this is basically full engine package,
Yeah.
full wire up,
Yep.
electricals, you know,
Transmission,
Driveline.
diff.
Yep.
driveline, diff, and all your arms, you know, lower control arms, all that kind
Yep,
of stuff.
yep.
Yeah, that's us ripping all the rear end out and
Yep.
you know, redoing all that. So yeah, it's that's all included. In
But
that
not
price.
painting the car.
Not painting the car,
Not roll
no
cage.
wheels,
No wheels, tires.
and no roll cage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it adds up. Like you know, everything's pretty expensive
So
these
we're
days.
probably talking
Look, by the time you-
300, 320
Yeah,
or something.
depending on how far you go, about 300.
Yeah.
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 Mind
Yeah.
you still got to buy the car too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you bought about
Yeah,
3,
it
4 years
depends
ago,
when you bought it. Yeah,
they were pretty
inflation.
cheap.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to buy 34. Now they're crazy.
They're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we sort of touch on that all the time here. And it does become subconscious what we do, you know, qualifying the customer. It's like, it's not really something we're not like, oh, Joe, how did you qualify the customer? And it doesn't get spoken about, but we're doing it as we speak to them. Because this isn't for everyone. And some people might think, I mean, if it's like building a house, you spend $250 and the house is built, right?
Yeah.
And it's got like a 7-year warranty and, yeah, and then
But then you're not dumping the clutch at $7,000 every
That's right.
week. Yeah.
correct.
100%. You know.
Right. So that's the thing, and that's the difference. It depends on how you use it, what you're using it for,
Yeah.
and also you're pushing that threshold of, I guess, what's all day, every day,
Like mechanical sympathy
Yeah.
or like use. So everyone says, oh, like I'm only going to roll race it. It's like, hold on. Roll racing's actually pretty savage in terms of you do your run, you go and line up for 20 minutes in, you know, heat soak, you do another run, full pass. We're talking like, you know, 10-second full hits, go through every gear, line back up,
Yeah,
heat soak.
don't turn it off.
Yep.
Just gets
Do
worse
another
and
lap.
worse through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's
it's
elimination to go.
easy because you're not launching it, right? No, it's still getting hot. Like people are like, oh, oil temp's 120. Like that's all right, yeah. If it was a different platform, it probably would have fallen apart.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys see when you're running your cars? Run after run is the heat soak with them? or-
Not so much with the R35s can do it, yeah.
Yeah.
After
Mainly trans temp because
Yeah,
they're,
trans temp.
they're an auto trans. So they don't have a converter, luckily. But yeah, trans temp gets up there a bit.
Yeah,
But
okay.
also the trans cooler is
heat exchanger.
yeah, heat exchanger. It uses engine coolant to
Okay.
cool it. So you're using between 90 and 95 or 100 degree even after the run coolant temp to cool down something that's
Yeah.
already
Already
that temp.
cooking.
Correct. It's not really ideal when it comes to that scenario.
Yeah.
However, it helps it heat up
Yeah.
the trans, which is what you need. So
Yeah.
you do need that. But yeah, if it was a circuit car, you don't run that
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
cooler. But
Yeah, run after run though. It's yeah, the cars.
You
don't
need
love it,
mechanical.
do they?
Yeah, you,
No.
you need sympathy. You need mechanical
Yeah.
sympathy. You
Yeah.
need to let it rest.
Yeah.
Like that's natural, and that's something that we learned from building cars up over stages, over years, from an EB Falcon up to whatever you're racing at the moment, or a VL up until RHM.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, definitely. And the more you push them, the more you got to be careful. Like you're strategic, right? You don't go out there and do every hit you can throughout the whole night, surely. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe. Hang on, I've got to test this clutch just one more time. I think there's something wrong with it.
You know what? I'll tell you the truth. I think it was one of the first nights we took the car out. I was in the semis and I was racing and I was giving it a hit and I was backing off. If I thought I was going to win the race, I backed off, and I thought I'd won this race. I backed off, and then this Evo just comes flying past me, and I was like, "You bastard! He fucking got me."
Yeah.
And then one of the boys, one of the B2R guys, Mo, he goes to me, he goes, Romanos, He's like, every single run, doesn't matter if you're 10, 20 lengths in front of him, just stay on it.
Wide open throttle.
So I'm on it all the time. Fuck it, you know.
All right, that's good though. But you're also the guy that has a spare clutch on the shelf.
That doesn't, there's probably don't even need it.
Yeah.
Don't even need it, right? But you've got the mindset of knowing that you're going to potentially use parts, right? Yes?
Maybe.
I didn't say that you like to use parts, but you have the mindset knowing full well of what can happen.
Yes,
right?
100%.
So
yes.
when you do break a gearbox or have an engine issue,
I know that those things can happen.
are you going to go home and cry to your wife and say, hey, the rich boys beat us and I broke? No, you're not going to do that, are you?
No, because it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Exactly. But
yes, I know what you're saying.
yeah, so the whole
yes,
thing
you're
is,
100%.
is being okay with it.
Yeah, you have to.
And you have so much more fun.
Yeah, you have to. Look, if you're racing, you have to, and you're going to be racing all the time, you have to be okay with shit breaking.
Yeah.
It happens. And if you think you're going to build a race car, and you're going to be pushing 1,500 horsepower, even though, anything over 1,200 horsepower, I say, you have to be okay with breaking something,
Yep.
So there are things that's out of your control, your control, my control,
100%,
and it's no one's fault. It happens.
Yeah.
I think, a lot of guys don't see that and struggle with understanding and accepting that. But if you want to do it, man, that's what happens.
Yeah, and this is why not everyone does it.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Because it's a big thing, right?
Yep.
It's a big cost. It's the
Yep.
running costs.
Yep.
You got to really love it, and it's got to be your life.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the builds, say a 12 or 1,500 horsepower GTR,
Because that's normal these days.
yeah, that's normal, right? It's a base package. Do they ever ask, what's the running costs per year or something like that on that platform, on something that makes sort of that power?
Yeah, most of them do, but around 1,200 horsepower now, like these days,
they're pretty good.
they're pretty good. They're actually very, very good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have an issue.
Yeah.
But stuff can break, like diff shafts, transfer cases,
Yep.
depending how you're driving it. If you're abusing it or not.
Yep.
But they're pretty good. So especially with a manual car, you tell them you might have to put a clutch in every now and then when it does
Yep.
let go. You can't just say, no, nothing's going to break.
100%.
Because you know yourself.
Yeah,
Stuff
it's
will
gonna happen.
break.
Yeah.
But around 12 to 1,400 is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Especially for something so old.
Yeah.
But, so if I was a customer, I said, what's the actual value that I need to budget per year, put aside, so that I don't end up upset and I don't end up off the road, and I want to race every roll racing? What would you say is safe to put to the side?
Put to the side at what power level? Like
Say 1350,
say 1350. Man, they shouldn't be spending more than 10 grand.
10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
That will cover if you need a clutch. Well, let's face it, clutch is 4 or 5 grand now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially if you break an axle, it's a couple of grand. There's stock ones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
I do think a lot of people build the engine, the gearbox, but then they don't want to, keep going with the rear
So what
end
about
and shafts.
so you won't have gearbox issues, dog issues, or dog? That depends on driver, right?
Yeah, it's depends on the driver.
Yeah.
So we've used Albin's gearboxes now for many years, and there's not one that's let go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
crazy boxes. But I think at the same time too, if you ask the same question, say 3 years ago,
Very different.
there'd be a different answer.
Yeah.
Again, tech has moved leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
In that amount of time. So the RB platform is getting pretty reliable.
Yeah.
But you asked that question 3 years ago, it'd probably be a different answer.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I get it. It's the same. It's the same with stuff that we do.
And I guess that changes the more that you learn as well. Obviously, it's all the same. We're constantly learning.
Yeah, that's it. You can't stop.
Well, I think the
Improving.
benefit of having multiple people that are all close to each other, correct? Because you guys are close with other shops that work on the same platform.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone talks. So as soon as one person's having an issue with one thing, you guys are all ears and all mouth, right? You're all talking and going, right, what are we going to do here?
To
a
be honest,
certain
GDR
degree.
guys don't say nothing.
I was waiting for that.
They do not say nothing.
Wow. Okay, so
You can hear an car going down and, fucking
Well,
grenaded the engine. Nah, just break a diff.
okay. All right. So it's not really, it's not helpful then to the platform. So
No.
I thought because we don't have,
you guys have no competition.
We don't
so
have a competition, so it's
you're in
like-
a different boat.
but that's bad because I look at it and go, geez, we can't ask for help
Yeah.
and we can't ask questions. We've got nothing to relate to.
I guess do you guys have built up relationships with guys overseas maybe where you can, you know.
To
get
be
that
honest, I
help
get
and,
asked more questions than I get to ask.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So when you're getting asked a lot of questions, then you just put a lot of distrust. There's only like maybe one person overseas that I trust.
Yep.
The Americans love a good bump steer. They love the bump steer in the wrong way. Or
there you go. See, well, it's the same thing that the boys have to deal with, I guess, every now and then. Do you believe what you're getting told? I don't know. Or do you just kind of, let's figure it out ourselves?
I mean, I don't listen to anything. There's one person at Motec I deal with, and there's one person in the US that I deal with, and they're the only two people ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just anything else, and there's no point. But we'll have I'll talk to you about things like head gasket stuff.
Yeah.
Because then I'll apply that knowledge to maybe a different engine platform that we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think that the multi-layer steel gasket's awesome. But the reason I asked about the toe-made gasket on the cast engine is in my head I'm thinking that maybe the block's not flexing as much, and that's why you're getting really good seal.
Yeah.
But it would have been interesting to see if that same gasket was on a cast engine, how far you'd go, whether you get the 1700.
On the cast, we haven't pushed them that far.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
On the billet, yes.
Because you see issues prior to head gasket.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's quite interesting.
You're going to have customers, like you could probably say to a customer and explain it to them, but I think talking about how we're talking about it now, I think people will listen to that more than just hearing it from one person.
Yeah, because when we say it in conversation, they're like, they don't take it as gospel.
Yeah.
But if they watch something on fucking YouTube or on an Insta story or whatever, it's like, oh no, but look, he's doing it. He's doing it.
100%.
It's like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
We've been here too. We've done this.
Yeah.
This is what we're telling you. Just because I'm talking to you in person doesn't mean it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I try, like when I talk to people, they must think I'm trying to talk them out of doing the job.
Yeah.
Because I bring up I try to bring up all the bad stuff. I'm like, are you going to be able to budget 30 grand a year? That's what you should budget. Now, the first year you might not spend anything, but the second year you might spend 60 grand.
Yeah.
All right. Because we might want to go over the engine, might go over the trans. That doesn't mean that it has to be done, but it might mean that you're not breaking down the next year.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to be competitive.
Yeah, we're talking 7-second R35 stuff.
Yeah,
so, the V10 platform is quite good because we're not using the engine to half its capacity. Like it's what we make on the dyno is nowhere near what we're actually able to use at roll racing.
How much are you guys able to use? How much
Honestly, I reckon at roll racing, because it's at night, I reckon in the day we could use more, but 1650 max.
If that isn't like more
Max.
like 1600 in fifth, sixth gear, if that.
Yeah, and only in fifth, sixth, that's right. So not in fourth and third.
And this is like modelled torque. So let's say we're making like 2200-ish modelled torque on the dyno for the ECU, and you're putting in your torque limits in the torque limits in the ECU. You're talking like 1650.
Wow.
Which
you're talking like what 2/3 of what it can make, and there's more boost left. But I just don't. There's no need to keep pushing the thing on the dyno. I can't even use it.
So that's also why the stage 3 cars and the stage 4 cars are like neck and neck. It's like, well, you've got the same torque limits.
What do you mean by stage 3 and stage 4? What's a stage 3 and what's a stage 4?
Stage 3 is the twin 64mm car, so 64, 66.
Yeah,
makes like 1450 on the dyno. Stage 4 car is like the twin 76mm setup that goes 2000.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they do top end.
Yeah,
the 64mm cars.
Yeah.
But on a unprepped surface, they don't show much difference.
No, you see it at CUDA.
We've seen it at CUDA, right?
All your cars are they're like all bunched in the that same bracket.
Yeah. We had I think 3 or 4 go 850, 845. I think 850s was the average, and like 180 was the average speed. With the slowest one being like 178. That was a stage 3, or something like that, and 182. So its average is like 180.
Yeah. So was the quickest one at CUDA that was a stage 3?
Yeah.
Quickest in ET, yeah.
In ET,
yeah.
Okay.
But
mile an hour, Tony got one. That's big.
Yeah,
what do you do? Like a 180?
182.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that car could do closer to 200.
Yeah.
If we can get it down.
Yeah.
But then you run the risk of having TCU issues, shifting and whatnot when it shouldn't be, or pushing him off the racetrack. And everyone says that they can drive until they can't, and then they've been to $700,000, $800,000 car.
Yeah, okay.
So we do look at that stuff very, very carefully. We only make small increases. We know that we're playing with fire. But yeah, so they're good in terms of, I guess, expenditure per year. I feel like the GTR's more maintenance than the V10 platform.
Okay.
So, and bang for buck, I mean, to build a 1600 horsepower, let's make it a little bit more like for like. So like a PR12, which makes 1330, roughly 1320.
PR12.
PR12, yep. Which our quickest one is Hanny's. It's gone 822 at about 167.
Is it a V10 or 35?
Nah, 35.
Sorry, so this is 35.
PR12
Yeah.
is 35. Yep.
What's that worth to build? That you're going to spend probably just under 200 by the time you do wheels and tires.
Yep.
And if you want to add a Motec dash and stuff like that. And then you've got in the V10 platform to make about that power, you're spending about just over 200. So it's similar.
Very similar.
It's similar build costs.
Yeah.
But then that's stock engine for around that power.
Okay.
Right? But they'll run 8s at about 171. So it's depending what you're going to do with the car.
Yep.
Like on the road, the V10 will actually beat it.
Really?
Yeah, but on the drag strip, the GTR's got a slick on it. They can launch good. The V10s don't launch as well.
Yep.
Can't put a bias ply on them unless you go smaller brakes, smaller wheels. So that's a problem. And then having the engine in the back means you got to try and keep the front down. That's been a problem as well.
Yeah,
And then you end up in a hop. So there's definitely some testing and tuning needed there
Yep.
by us, which we're going to be spending more time on this year. So just to get that ET down. But that's none of our V10 guys want a drag car.
I was, that was going to be my next question. Do you guys have customers that really want to do drag racing, or most of them into roll racing?
Not really. They want the number.
Okay, they just want that number.
They want the number that you get from drag racing all your life, that car,
Yeah.
right? But by going once.
Because they don't want to cage it. They don't want to.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm in the same block. Me personally, I don't care about the number, but it'd be nice to have just to.
It'd be nice to run a 740, of course.
I'm not going to say no. I think everyone would like that.
Yeah.
But when you have no cage, no chutes, and you got to go through the whole bullshit of being, of the scrutineering.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No,
It's
that's
not
right.
fun.
But we do have one guy, and we did mention on the last podcast that we're going to be doing an R8, and that's going to be set up for drag.
Okay.
He owns my old Perf, the PR
yeah.
bull car.
Oh yeah.
So it went 8.5 at 180 or something at CUDA.
Nice.
Agreed that the car's perfect. Didn't want to go further with it because it's perfect, and you wouldn't wreck a Performante. So we're going to do an R8 for him. Yeah, more
Awesome.
drag orientated.
When's this thing going to be out?
Well, we've got the car already. So
It's semi-started.
yeah, it's
This year?
There's
Next year?
No, it won't be finished this year.
Okay.
Don't say that too loud.
We're just talking about realistic expectations.
We're only in
That's
June.
it.
We're only in June, and we do work fast, and we surprise ourselves, to be honest.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's finished this year. But we're doing a lot. We've got to get the cage certified. As you know, you need a welding cage for anything under 8.0.
Yeah.
So that's been our first hurdle because the monocoque chassis is aluminium carbon composite. So it's not steel. So you can't weld chromoly to or mild steel or anything like that to an aluminium chassis. You need to weld aluminium to aluminium.
And you can't run an aluminium cage.
No.
Fucking hell, there's something to
So-
think about, eh?
So straight away we've got a problem, and that's
Who's doing that? You guys doing that in house, or he's
Yeah,
gonna-
we do
We
everything.
will once we
Yeah.
get it all passed and work out what to actually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, I'm guessing you guys
Yes,
are just mapping it all out at the moment, and
We've got to get the approval.
Yeah.
We might have to jump through hoops, get engineers to sign off on it, because IHRA, Andra, they're not going to take the responsibility of making that decision. No way, because if someone dies, it's a problem. But yeah, we'll jump through those hoops. But yeah, all the fabrication's in house. Our fabricator is an ex chassis builder, so in the off road scene.
yeah.
So that's sort of his forte when it comes to that stuff. He likes tube and making stuff work. So
Awesome.
not really roll cages, but yeah, it's at least we've got the ability to do it. So I think I've got some questions for you.
Question time. Are these your questions?
These haven't been made up by me. They're random questions, and I haven't read them yet.
I feel like a
give them the
stitch up's
rules.
coming.
Stitch up. I haven't read them yet, so it's not my fault.
You've got to give them the rules. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I will give you some rules. They're not written rules, but we're going to run with the same ones all the time. You've got 10 seconds to answer, and it's only one answer. And I'm going to alternate between you two, okay?
Think fast.
I am trying to
Get
think.
10 seconds.
I honestly don't even know.
Romanos has already pulled 7 gears.
Man, honestly, I don't even know where.
Spiders? No.
Oh, spiders. Everyone's scared of spiders.
What are you scared of now?
Now?
Yeah.
Man, honestly, after I rolled my car, that kind of, I stopped, racing.
Driving
and
fast
that.
car.
Yeah, that scared me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I rolled like 3 times on the freeway, and the car was squashed. It was S15.
Yeah. So that woke
And
you up a bit, right?
That woke me up a lot. Yeah.
Good.
And that's when I started, driving. Bought a GTR.
Yeah.
All drive. It's a lot
Funny
safer.
that. I did the same
But
thing.
it's the same thing. Like even when I drive now, if I go race, and it's always in the back of my mind.
100%.
I wanna push.
I get off it straight away.
Yeah.
Like as soon as within reason.
Yeah.
Like I know squirrely and I know not going to come back. So yeah, you learn that pretty quick. Romanos, who is your hero?
Who's my hero?
Me.
General life.
Shit.
And
The old
first
man,
person,
the
you
old
don't have
man,
to worry
Dad.
about the missus watching
Dad.
this. Dad. Yeah, good. Nav, what is your favorite body part?
Favorite body part? Probably my boys, eh?
Bicep. Right. Been training them?
I haven't trained in a while because doing all these late nights. But when I used to,
It's funny
I
though,
always
eh?
had decent arms. So.
Yeah. I used to say, I used to be fitter than what I am now too. No one would believe it.
The late nights got us.
100%. If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be, Romanos?
Banana. It's
That's that seems to be a common choice.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Usually straight after the body part is banana.
Yeah.
It's funny that. It must be a subconscious thing.
maybe.
Were you thinking about body parts when you thought of banana?
Shit, I don't even know. It's just the first thing that came to my mind.
Very good. What are you most looking forward to?
We're looking forward to go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially we're actually looking a lot, to go to the drag strip now.
Yep.
Try to run some good times.
Some numbers, yep.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of roll racing, which is fun.
Yeah.
We love it. And we'll always go to roll racing, no matter whose car we build. We'll always go with them, support them, help them.
Yeah.
But I think drag racing, we want to go, start going to the 7 seconds and, progress from there.
Yep.
So
With the roll racing and whatnot, is it you guys G'ing up the customers to get out there, or is it the customers like they're going regardless, and now you're like, okay, I've got to make this my monthly.
Navi has no choice.
Yeah. I have no
Navi's
choice.
going to roll racing because the customers want to go.
yeah, like on what's today? On Thursday, I bet there'll be like 3 cars getting dropped off. Can you service them? Just check them over. Or
Yeah, check over pre-checks.
Yeah,
which is also good to touch on.
yeah, we always do that.
So
yeah.
always pre-checks and post-checks. Or?
Yeah. Well, we check the logs on the nights and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But if the customer says there was a bit of an issue, then we'll tell them to drop it off Monday morning,
Sure.
and we'll have a look throughout the week at what's going on if there is an issue. But most of the time, it's pretty good.
Yep. No, that's good. Okay. What is one thing you wish you enjoyed more, Romanos?
Shit. Sleep.
Yeah. That's good.
That would be nice.
Like, I wish I enjoyed that more.
Trust me,
Sometimes
you get more sleep than us.
Yeah, you don't sleep at all. I don't know how you do it.
How do you feel when you're messaging the boys and you're laying in bed and they're giving you updates on where your car's at?
Nah, I'm pretty good.
He's pretty good.
I'm pretty good. I like to, if my car's there and they need a hand or need to do anything, I
You're
like to
involved.
be active.
No, he's definitely involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to be involved.
Romanos, we'll call him up. Romanos, we need this. Can you just run down and grab
If
it?
they need me at the shops or anything,
Wow.
I'm happy to be there.
Yeah.
Holy
Surely you've got
moly.
customers like that though, right?
No, we do. Yeah. They're all pretty helpful
Yeah.
when we need them.
And have you got the opposite? You get the messages. Hey, how's my car going?
Yeah. it is. We
Hey,
do.
have you found the problem?
Couple
yet?
here and there, but no, most of them are pretty good. I think it's just their passion as well. They want to race, so and we do a lot for them, and they do a lot
Yeah.
for us too. So
Yeah.
You do seem like a real close knit shop.
yeah, 100%.
It's good
Yeah.
vibes.
I wouldn't even say
It's nice.
customers. I'd say
Yeah.
They're friends. Yeah.
we're all friends at the end of the day.
From a business perspective, we call it customers. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we're devaluing what they are.
Yeah.
No,
they
definitely
they all become like family.
100%.
But to people listening,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
the customer.
That's right.
Do you still go on cruises and everything together
Yes,
Evenings,
every now and then
when
we
you
do.
can, when you're not
when we're
busting
not.
your ass?
Yeah, we're not at the shop.
Have you got kids?
Yeah, I've got one little boy. He's
Okay.
about 3 now.
3.
So
And Av?
I've not yet.
And Ben?
Ben's getting married next week.
Right. I have been seeing those posts and
So yeah, Benny's.
shit.
The model Benjamin's coming out.
Yeah.
So that means expect to have a little one in 12 months.
Sorry?
He's going to have a little one in 12 months,
Who,
most
Benny?
likely. Benny.
Yeah. Probably wants to travel the world. We've got no time for that, Ben.
Yeah.
But
What's an average day for you? Like just average.
Average?
Yeah.
start, like, say, 7:30, 8 a.m. You know, if everything goes to plan, we're out by 6.
Mhm.
But if it doesn't, we're out there till midnight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And how often does it go
Well,
to plan?
it
Or how often
depends.
do you do midnight?
Now we have GTR Festival,
Yeah.
we've got roll racing, we had this versus that, and
It's
a few
events
other events,
after
Cuda
events
Mundra.
after events.
You know, it's been a bit hard, so we have been doing a lot of late
The
nights.
whole 6 months has been an absolute. It feels like
The last 6
I feel
months
like
been-
we're in January still.
Yeah. Well, we're already halfway through the year,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do spend a fair bit of time
Yeah.
throughout these events.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're the same, right? And we
Yeah.
we start at 7. So I mean that's deemed to be early, but you sound like you've been starting early as well.
Yeah.
And I think that our average time would be 6 o'clock. Would you say, Joe?
Yeah. If we're out by 6, it's like a good day.
Yeah, because it's still light.
That's like us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Normally it's dark when you get in, dark when you go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you get messages. Oh, it's a great day outside. And it's like, is
I haven't
it?
seen it.
It's, yeah.
I think a couple of years ago
Yeah.
for CUDA, we started, I think we worked for 2 days straight.
Yeah,
A couple
it's
of years ago
so
for
bad.
CUDA. That was
I
bad.
think, yeah, we've all
Didn't
been
go home for a couple of days.
I think as you get older, you rip the Band-Aid off
Yeah.
earlier. So you're like, nah, it's not going.
Yeah.
It's not going. You know, it's but it's hard when you've just spent maybe a month leading up to that with that car, and then just one little thing. It's like, nah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be too much, there's no point ruining the whole event for everyone just because of one car.
Yeah.
That's what we've sort of learnt.
Mm-hmm.
And just be a bit more organised. We try to,
Doesn't work.
not all the time.
Yeah.
But
I think in this trade, it's very hard to be organised. You
Well-
can get organised, but it's just one little thing. It's always going to take one little thing and it's going to stuff you up.
correct. And
That's it. That one little
events
thing's equal
leading up
5
to
hours.
it, right?
Yeah.
These customers, they're booking in CUDA. They know about it 3 months prior. So why are you racing the car every day?
Yeah.
Up and through.
Yes.
Can we park it? For
I'm fucking sick of events at the moment. I can't, I need a break.
yeah.
You know, don't look at me.
Nah, he's good.
I feel like Aaron's forgotten the day that we've had.
What's that?
You've forgotten the day that we had.
Which day is that?
Oh, like, yeah, things definitely do not go to plan. We thought we'd have a car, quick run up on the dyno. We get them done pretty quickly these days. You know, put it back together, and you know that's one car ready. And there's only a couple more to go until your, engine's out.
Oh man,
Times 2,
yeah,
turbos fails.
Things escalate.
It's-
Yeah,
yeah.
things escalate quite quick. But yeah, we don't give up. We don't give up. We do as much as possible. Money or happiness? No,
Happiness.
happiness.
Yeah. Stuff money.
Stuff, money.
Money's good, but, if you're not happy, then what's the point?
Yeah, okay,
100%.
that's good. That gets answered many ways.
Mm.
Is it?
Some people say, well, you're happy when you've got money.
Look, you are, but, if you got money and you're not happy, if things are going well at home,
Correct.
or
Yeah. Don't have one so that you can have the other.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
have the other and then you're happy, right?
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I know people that don't
100%.
even have, race cars and stuff
So
like
do
that,
I.
but they're the happiest people ever.
Man, I've had, I know a lot of people that have money that
Yeah.
do not seem happy.
Yep.
And then and I know a lot of people that are broke
Yeah.
that are very happy.
100%.
Exactly.
And when I talk to them,
Yeah.
they make me feel very good.
Yep.
What is your last Google search, Romanos? That's going to be an actual genuine check, not a thought.
Honestly, I don't know. Let's have a look.
It's a stitch up. That's the stitch up. Someone threw the stitch up in there.
I hope it's
Twin
not
turbo
just-
setup.
Oh,
Twin
fucking
turbo V10, stage 4.
Precision racing.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
hell. How to do a T-bar row.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I was at the gym today. And,
So which was your
favorite?
favourite body part?
No, I just like
didn't
to
have
stay
to.
active and fit,
Yeah, wow. Very good. No, that's good. What was your last impulse buy?
Impulse buy.
Who's got the Huracan? Is that you or
No,
the...
I've got the Huracan.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
That was.
Yeah, no, I just bought that recently. I don't know, actually, 5 months
I
now.
was talking to you when you got that. You got the Ducati as well?
Yeah, I got the Ducati as well.
Yeah.
I bought them at the same time, same place.
Same owner.
Actually, no, it's separate owners, but the guy was about 20 minutes away from
right.
where I bought it. I bought the Lambo from Melbourne.
Yeah. Was that Lawbeck or something? Was it a dealer or?
It was a private sale,
Right.
but the guy was close to a dealer there at Lamborghini,
Yep.
Melbourne. And so I went to the Lamborghini dealership to go
Yep.
buy it.
Yeah,
But,
nice.
yeah, I bought that, and then the Ducati was only like 20 minutes away, so I thought I'll come back with the Ducati as well.
Why not?
Wow.
Fuck
Who
yeah.
does that?
The guy
So
was,
you went from being like Japanese to full Italian all in one day.
Well, I always wanted one. So,
Yeah.
you know, growing up, Lamborghini. It's every kid wants a Lamborghini.
Oh, I get
you know?
it. Yeah.
So I just thought, you know, I need one. I want to buy one.
Yeah.
I've always thought about it. Even my missus, you know, she was supportive as well. She's like, look, you've always wanted one. You talked about one.
Yeah.
Your screensaver's a Lamborghini. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you can get one, get one.
Was it my Lamborghini? The screensaver?
Nah. Nah, it wasn't.
I thought I had a fanboy. And that's the black
Your-
perf.
Yeah, that's the black
Yeah.
perf. Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm.
Very, very nice.
They're actually pretty cool cars
sick
to drive
car,
on
yeah.
the street.
Awesome.
I'm mad.
Awesome cars. Yours got a boost leak. What motivates you the most, Romanos?
What motivates? Oh shit! Fuck, I don't know. This is fuck. You've stumped me. Don't know. Money's motivating.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
that's what's coming. You know, that's all I'm thinking. You know, making that coin motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. And then I guess you set goals, right?
Yeah.
And then to achieve those goals, you have to use money, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the actual money that you want. You're just trying to achieve
the goal.
The goal.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And that goal's set so that you create another goal, which is the one where you're using work
Yeah.
to get to that goal,
Yeah.
right? And what do you do for work? I didn't even ask.
I'm an investor.
It wasn't
pretty
the
much.
it wasn't the brick.
No,
wasn't the
hell no.
bricklaying anymore.
No, I can't do that anymore. But yeah,
Okay.
an investor.
So investor, you don't start there.
No.
So what did you do prior to that?
Prior to I was in the transport industry for a long time.
Yep.
I'm still am. I own a few trucks and trailers, mainly semis.
Okay.
But I was an early investor in Bitcoin back in 2013, 2014. So I did pretty well there, and I still follow that industry quite a bit and do a bit of day trading. So that's kind of what I do. But I also make other investments and whatever it may be, property,
Real stuff.
real
smart man.
stuff, cars,
Real estate.
trucks, trailers, machinery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the transport company's still running though.
Yes, I changed the model of it a little bit. So it was very hard finding drivers and good workers. Very hard finding good workers.
Yep.
So I ended up flicking most of my prime movers and kept all my trailers. Reason being, I don't have to worry about workers, and I just started leasing all the trailers.
Wow.
Just put them on lease. I made a few connections in where I used to work. I just dry hire them.
Yep. And these are trailers that you've had anyway. They're probably paid off.
Yeah.
So it's just income.
Yeah. That's it. So I don't have to. The maintenance of actual prime mover is fucking ridiculous. Most of profits were just going towards that. So I wanted to, and I was taking up a lot of my time managing people.
Yeah.
So and I kind of wanted to free up some time for myself. I find that when I had a bit of time for myself, I can focus better on making smarter investments and
100%.
whatnot. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think time is a luxury, and if you've got time, you can make money the best way possible.
100%, yes.
But when you're time poor, which is usually when you haven't got money, you're using your hands or your brain trying to make money that's is going to come in.
Yeah.
Right. So that's safe money.
Yeah.
It stops you from making decisions that aren't safe but lucrative.
Yeah.
So that's I can relate to that. Time poor. We're all time poor still. But,
Missing a lot of opportunities.
100%. We spoke with Anthony Matuk last week. We're talking about if you've come this far, well, pretty much to be on here as a workshop, you've obviously done very well, right? And you've worked very hard, and we agreed that it's not the whole 8 hours a day, like it's your whole life. It's actually your life. It's not a job. It's it sort of takes over your life. It's to the public, it looks like, that's just their 9 to 5 job. They come in, they work on cars, they go home, they don't care about it, they don't think about it anymore. But really, even when you're not there, it's just say you do have an early day.
Yep.
What's going through your head between 6 and 10 p.m. when you're going to sleep or having dinner and
What are we doing tomorrow?
or organising tomorrow?
What do I need to order tomorrow? What
Yeah.
do I need to tell the boys to do? Or,
Are you doing emails at that time as well?
Oh, you try not to. When I go home, I try not to. It's
Yeah.
just all just thinking about everything.
Yeah.
And just, if I'm sending messages to the boys or whatever.
Yeah.
But try not to,
it's
because you got to spend time with family too,
Yeah.
So
You're
can't
just
go home.
saying this, right?
Yeah.
I know. I know what you're supposed
That is the
to.
right answer.
I know what you're
My
supposed
missus is
to.
going to watch this, and she's going to be like, "Oh, I didn't know my husband was that."
And she's actually going to watch it and go, "This is what I've been saying, but you don't actually do it. Why do you say it?"
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I think we're all in the same boat there. Is there anything else that you want to touch on?
That's it. I think I've learned a lot. It's really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for having us.
It's been good.
Is there any questions you have for us?
Take me for a ride one of your cars.
We're going to do that this Friday.
Okay.
How many
gonna
cars
jump-
you guys taking?
Oh, I don't even know. A handful.
Well, it's the big weekend, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
the speed challenge.
It
So I
is
think
too.
we've got maybe George's R8, Tony's Perf,
Imran.
Imran's GTR, maybe Skinner's.
Trying for Skinners.
One GTR. Yeah,
Mm.
they're all.
Maybe we can get one of you guys in RHM.
Mm.
Show you guys what a real car
Man,
is.
I don't do passenger rating.
I'll come.
Would ya?
100%.
Would you actually?
Yeah, I love
Okay.
that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Joe can go.
Let's do it.
I don't do passenger.
No. You like to be in control, do you?
100%.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a problem, I get it, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. All right, so that's a wrap.
Yeah,
Legend.
No,
Done.
It's been a pleasure.
appreciate it. Yeah, really,
Thank
really
you
appreciate
very
you,
much.
you guys coming on, and we'll see you at the track.